Hello, everyone. I'm Zencom, and I'm excited to have Geryon, the founder of the Cerberus Zone, here with me today. The second time, actually. So, Geryon, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Of course, busy, post launch, a lot of stuff going on, juggling a lot of things all at once, right? So definitely staying busy for sure, man, but doing good other than that.
I can imagine launch, airdrop, and I mean, your Twitter feed is full of new events. So, I'm sure you and your team have a lot going on right now.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. We'll probably be posting some other news later on this week about other parts of the project that we've got going on, NFTs, upcoming airdrops, site redesign, stuff like that.
Very excited. I think we'll come back to that later. For our new listeners who don't know what Cerberus is and who you are, could you give us a brief introduction of the project and the team?
Yeah. So quick elevator pitch on CRBRUS. We started out, like, for anybody who's new, started out as a kind of launching in the cosmos as a meme coin. So, Chihuahua Chain really led the way with that in the Cosmos ecosystem. But as of right now, we're actually going to be expanding out into our NFT project, right? So that's just real quick, like, elevator pitch, meme coin NFT project, right?
Okay, sounds good. And what about the history of Cerberus? You said you just launched Airdrop. What, from the start to today, what has happened in your history?
Okay, gotcha. So we actually made our initial announcement on March 11th on Twitter that we were going to be launching this our project, right? And basically a month later, we actually launched the main chain, right? And so as we were launching the main chain, about a week later, we did our airdrop to Chihuahua holders, right? And really a little bit about kind of how the project got started, right? We were wanting to do a project within the Cosmos ecosystems. We weren't quite sure, like, hey, what do we want to do from offering a project of true value, right? So we initially said, okay, yeah, I know it sounds kind of funny that we just start out with a meme coin, right? So, but that was kind of the lowest hanging fruit, right? That gets us, a chain running in the Cosmos ecosystem. We've got, obviously our validators, or we've got 100 active validators in the validator set right now. And so right now that we've launched, we've done our first airdrop. We're really now focusing on, the upcoming airdrop for the osmosis stakers, right? So that's just kind of real quick, like, what we've done, how we've got to this point right now.
Mhm. All right, that sounds good. Um, you got a lot of validators on your chain, 100. By the way, Uplink is there too. But how did you manage to launch so quickly? I mean, launching your own blockchain, that's not like, you know, starting a computer on off. There's more to it. Did you have
Yeah.
help or something?
Yeah, so our team is fairly small, right? So we've got 3 people on, like, the core team, right? And myself, I kind of the technical lead founder, right? And then we've got a couple, business partners that run behind the scenes on things. I'm kind of primarily the face of it. Like, everybody knows me on kind of Discord and Twitter. I've got my own dedicated Twitter, but we do have a social media team that runs, like, the main Twitter account, and then I'm of course on Telegram also. But so that's kind of the core team, and then how we got up and running so quickly, to answer your question on that. Cosmos community is really supportive, right? Like, especially in the validator community. So, shout out to Lavender 5, right? They really kind of helped us bootstrap our initial Genesis validator set, right? And then from there, we continued to make connection, whether that was on Twitter, whether that was on Telegram, right? We had other validator companies coming to us, whether they're big or small, right? Like, we don't we don't discriminate on, like, oh, you're just a 3-man validator show, right? Like, we're here to kind of help the smaller validators get in on the action in the Cosmos ecosystem also. But yeah, really in the end, it came down to having the right set of Genesis validators kind of help support us, answer some questions, advise us on certain things, to get up and running within the time frame that we did. Because from the point of announcement, which was February 11th, all the way up to March 15th, I mean, that was a little over 4 weeks to first post, idea, discussing it internally with the business partners, and then to launch, right? So it was a little bit over a 4-week period. But in the end, it comes down to the Cosmos community really helping get new chains up and running, right? Because in the end, we could have got this up and running on our own without assistance. It took us double the time to get up and running, right? So if anytime someone's wanting to offer you help or assist, and they've got experience within the ecosystem and the community, right? Like, why not bring those people into to help support your community?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we see it with, or we saw it with FMOS lately, that starting your own blockchain is quite a difficult task. I mean, FMOS is a little bit more complicated than a meme coin, but nevertheless, it's the same magnitude of problem we have here.
Oh,
So yeah, you're right.
exactly. Yeah, for sure. Like I think a lot of people on the outside looking in may not know the inner workings on like getting a chain up and live, right? There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that don't go that you don't see that's going on behind the scenes, right? Like people are getting the airdrops and they'll see us post on Twitter and stuff like that, but there's probably 20 other things going on behind the scenes at the exact same time.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the beauty of the Cosmos, I think, that there's such a high complexity, but it's hidden behind well-defined interfaces and that allow the end user to have a really smooth experience in the whole ecosystem. Now with IBC and interchain accounts and stuff like that, I think it will even further boost that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the IBC is definitely the game changer within the space. I know our initial interview we talked about that, but that's to me, especially being a techie, that's a big deal, right? Because like I said before, I saw the internet like come alive, right? Without
Yeah,
dating
yeah,
myself too much, but so I think we're at the same point in time again. Within the blockchain space, right? Like if I had to put a year on it, I
yeah.
could be off, but I feel like we're kind of 1996 to 8 type time frame
So the dot-com bubble is
within
still
the
ahead of us.
yeah. Oh yeah, I think because a lot of people saw like the whole bubble, back in 2016, 2017, right? And so they think we're still late, but I think we're still early, and I think the big players like Cosmos, the Cosmos ecosystem are really going to be the leader in this. I'd be surprised if we don't see even more chain. Easily you see all the airdrops coming out every
Yeah, yeah.
month and week, right? I'd be surprised if we don't see another 100 chains coming online, and that may be conservative number as for new chains coming online within the Cosmos ecosystem.
Me too. I think the Tendermint guys, they aimed for 200 chains by the end of the year. I think that's a realistic goal, but we'll see. Excited for that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about airdrops. So you have multiple airdrops coming up, but let's talk about the one you did first. So
Yep.
you dropped a lot of tokens to the Chihuahua community. Just by the way, if you missed that, I think you can still claim it or check your wallet if it's in there. But there was a lot of discussion going on beforehand. The distribution, who gets what, and of course, you put a lot of thought into it. Did the airdrop, now to my question, did the airdrop play out exactly the way you wanted it to do?
Oh yeah, it actually went much smoother than we expected. Right, there was some last minute things, but I'll jump back real quick. So to claim the airdrop is not an actual claimable process like you see with some of the other airdrops where you got to go through this step and this step, right? Like if you had an address and you were staking, we captured that in the snapshot, and then we actually just drop that into your CRBRUS address, right? So there's some, without getting too technical, right? With your Chihuahua address, we can derive a CRBRUS address from that and airdrop to you directly. So some people may not know they even have the CRBRUS airdrop, because you would need to go and check your wallet, and you'd need to go to stake.cerberus.zone to actually hook into our native wallet, right? So that you could see your CRBRUS address within the Kepler wallet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's real quick on the claim process. The airdrop went really smooth. I think we got it knocked out. I think we knocked out the airdrop in about 12 hours too. every single person. Yeah, there were some technical things with some people's wallets. I forget exactly what it was, but they had the wrong coin type or something like that. But I think we've sorted out that, and there's a video out there for people who ran into that issue. But that was, I think, less than 1% of the people who got the airdrop. But yeah, we finished that airdrop in about 12 hours. So we expect to have some learnings from that. And then when we get out to we hit the next airdrop, which is the osmosis airdrop, we expect that to go just as smooth.
Yeah, tell us something about the Osmos and Atom airdrop. When are they supposed to come? You said you're working on the Osmosis one right now.
Yeah, so we've announced a date, a tentative date, for the osmosis one being May 1st. And the Atom airdrop is still to be determined. And I know we get some people here or there on Twitter or, whatever social platform saying, hey, guys, you guys changed your mind. You guys said that Atom holders were going to get it at certain date, and we always have to kind of refresh people's memory. Hey, just check out our initial project launch, right? We've always, I just want to say this in the interview, we've always had this planned as a phased airdrop, and there was never any official dates given. So the Osmos one is going to be on May 1st or by May 1st, right? And then the Atom one, that was still, we just got to let certain things play out, like liquidity and stuff like that, right? So it just doesn't make sense to just dump it all out on the market. No liquidity, ton of slippage on the exchanges, right? So I know some people could get a little impatient, but in the end, we're looking out for the best interest of the community in the end. So again, Atom, May 1st, osmosis. I'm not, scratch that. The osmosis airdrop is going to be May 1st, right? To those who staked and delegated with, and then the Atom one is still going to be determined right now at this point.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're all very excited about getting more Cerberus.
Yeah. And let me add one more thing in there for the airdrop. So it's we made a post. The team made a post earlier this week or last week or whatnot about us developing an airdrop checker app. So that's in the works right now. We've got some developers right now developing that for us on the team. So
what exactly do you mean by that?
So you'll be able to, whether you've got the Chihuahua, you'll no matter what airdrop you got from us, whether it's a Chihuahua airdrop, for those who delegated and staked with Chihuahua validators or Osmos or Atom, you'll be able to go to an app. You'll be able to, some people have seen these before in the past. You'll be able to go to the app and put in your wallet address, whether that's your Chihuahua address or whether that's your Atom or Osmosis address, and you'll be able to check how much should be airdropped to you in your CRBRUS wallet. So this just it gives better transparency, and then it also avoids the team, on Twitter or in Discord or in Telegram saying, hey, here's my address, and can you guys tell me how much I'm getting, or I didn't get X amount, right? That resolves a lot of that, and people are able to know before the airdrop happens what they should see in their wallets. Yeah, that should be live in I'm saying a week or two, probably. I just had a call with our devs on that. So week or two, it's not super complex. It's just everybody's bandwidth is a little tight right now.
Yeah, sure. So you mentioned something interesting, liquidity, because right now the liquidity of the Cerberus Chihuahua pool is indeed quite low. There's a lot of slippage. Even if you want to sell small amounts of or buy small amounts of Cerberus, like 1 million, you get high slippage. What are your plans to fixing that?
On the Chihuahua one or the Osmosis one?
Both, I think. I think they're both quite low in liquidity, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So the Osmosis one is much lower, right? The Chihuahua one was up to probably 1 million in liquidity at one point. So that one has, we don't know who dumped it in there, but someone dumped about a million worth of liquidity in the Chihuahua one last week. And then the Osmosis one, let me pull it up. That way I can kind of just speak from the source, right? Yeah. So the Chihuahua one has about 600 or so thousand in the pool in liquidity, and let's see, the other one, yeah, and the osmos pool, that one looks like it's ticking up a little bit right now. Obviously it's not where we would like to see it, right? But again, the project being 19 days old right after launch, probably not going to have 20 million worth of liquidity in it. But can I answer your question on like what we're looking at doing to increase the liquidity? So right now at this point on the osmosis pool, we just now launched external incentives on that particular pool, and that's kind of boosted up the liquidity by about 100K over the past 2 days. And unfortunately, it doesn't show the APR on there. We've got a lot of people asking us about that. Unfortunately, for external only incentives, the APR is not shown. So people don't have really good insight on what they're earning on that. That's just something we would, I think some community members have asked, hey, can APR be shown on osmosis for external only pools? And I think that's just really up to the osmosis team who
So
built the
osmosis
decks, right?
developers, please fix.
Yeah, a lot of people would like that, but I get the osmosis team. Like if you go into their GitHub, like they have a ton of pull requests, so it's just a matter of prioritizing things for them. But the other other piece of your question around the second part of how we're trying to get liquidity up in the osmosis pool. And I can speak for that one because we've got more things in motion for that particular pool. So I know quite a few people in the community are pushing a proposal through, at least getting feedback on a potential proposal for getting osmosis incentives, right, on
Yeah, that
that
would be
particular
nice.
pool
Yes.
there. Yeah, and that'll definitely help boost liquidity, right? As of right now, you're going to just see more organic liquidity growth on those pools, right?
Yeah.
And just over time, as time goes on, right? The goal obviously is to build up liquidity
Are
in
there
those
ambitions
pools.
to collaborate more with the Chihuahua community to maybe get Cerberus incentives on the Chihuahua pools and Chihuahua incentives on the Cerberus pools?
Yeah, actually, we've got discussions going on around that right now. So getting our side done right, getting the external incentives for the Chihuahua pool, right? Like we already have that in the works on our side for our team, but other members in the community, right? They're working and collaborating with the Chihuahua community to kind of get a feel for, hey, what are you guys feeling on adding external incentives also on that particular pool? So that is in the works right now. How that all plays out, right, is yet to be seen. It's really going to depend on a governance vote from the Chihuahua community on whether they want to offer external incentives on that also. But that is in the works. We do have a couple other pools, right? Like that we're going to be creating, like the CRBRUS UST, so paired with a stable coin also.
I think the next 1 or 2 months will be quite exciting for Cerberus. A lot of things coming with the incentives and airdrops. Will be wild,
Oh,
I think.
exactly. Yeah, no, definitely for sure.
Um, I think you're currently working on a new website too. When can we see some flashy things?
So right now, I know our designer is just in the beginning phases. So we're thinking in the next week or two. So the Airdrop checker app and the website, we're predicting we'll have that out in the wild within 2 weeks. That anyway, that's the goal, right? Time, sometimes, people, we get slipped on deadlines and stuff like that, but that's our goal, right? To get that pushed out in that time frame, and the Airdrop app, right? Because we feel like the website, I'm not saying it's top priority, but it has less, it doesn't give people a lot of fun. It's more informational, right? I think the Airdrop checker app is a little bit more important. I know some people like to see a flashy, website, just to kind of convey a more professional image, right? But as for like priorities, where's the community going to get the most value? Would say definitely the Airdrop checker app. So if we had to pick priorities, that would be at the top of our list.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still good you're working on the website. I think the website has served its purpose. And
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It was just a placeholder just to get some information out there.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so the landing page, it will be a separate website there. So what people are seeing now, that will move to another location. It won't even look like that. And then the docs will stay there because it's, that's more informational, right? And FAQ will stay where
yeah.
they're currently at.
Okay, great. Let's talk about future plans. So not short term, not the next 1 or 2 months, but beyond that. You mentioned NFTs. Can you tell us a little
Yep.
bit about that?
So we've had internal discussions on the NFTs. We kind of tested the waters on some ideas on Twitter on what people, from within the community were thinking around, hey, should we build our own type, should we expand the CRBRUS chain to support NFTs and then build some type of marketplace on top of it? Or should we partner with, another project, right? Like Omniflex or Stargaze, right? Within the
Yeah,
community. And without doing a poll, I feel like we got a pretty good sense of where people were leaning. Sure, we could build, expand the chain and upgrade the chain and build our own marketplace, right? It's almost reinventing the wheel at that point. And it doesn't give a whole ton of value to the community, right? So we're probably not going to go that route, just based on internal discussions. More than likely, we'll end up partnering, with another platform, right, that's already running, whether we push it to Stargaze or Omniflex, right? But that's the goal. So now that we've, for the most part, decided that internally, we haven't made an announcement or anything. You're kind of this first time us publicly like making a statement about it, like how we're gonna do it. Now our main focus is on the artist, that we have on our team, and what's the NFT project going to be called, right? Like I won't we'll do that in an official announcement, but we do have that in the works now. So we do have concept art being created right now. We do have our artists
give us
working
some
on
details. What's the theme, rarities, amounts? Give us something.
Theme is cyber, right? So just think cyber,
so like
something around that.
mythological stuff.
It'll still be based on CRBRUS, right? So it'll still be based on our our corn, our mascot, right? So it'll be something more futuristic in nature, right?
Yeah.
I can say that. Rarity, we're not going to be doing like the 10,000 like mint type stuff initially, right?
Yeah.
We may do something like that later on, because we're going to have a handful of series, because we've got our artists onboarded on our team, so we're not having
and he's working.
Yeah, he or she is working, right? Yeah, we've got a couple. We've got a couple, right? Artists that we've got on our team. So it's you will have multiple series, right? But one series may be developed by one set of artists internally, and then we may have another series that comes out in this completely different style, developed by another set of artists that we have. So we got like 3 artists on board right now. They're working, so most of the artists that we have on board, like we're not churning anything out in 2 days, right? Like it may take them 15 days to kind of build out a concept, work back and forth with us on, finalizing the vision and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't realize, like, it takes a long time, like, to get some good conceptual art out there that you want to put out into the public. So that's what we've got on that. For rarity, again, we're not doing like the 10,000 collection. We may do 1,000 and release them at 10 at a time, right? So it'd be like, hey, if I'm just shooting just pretend numbers out here, nothing solidified, right? So say we do 100 in a particular series, we may have 1 or 2 that are super rare in that particular series, right?
Yeah, makes
so
sense.
That's what so like 1 or 2% would be the rarity in a particular series that we launch out.
Geryon, I think the time is running out. You have your call later. Is there anything you need to share with us right now?
I don't think we have anything else that we need to share. I think we hit the Airdrop checker app. That way people know that is coming. So, they'll have a place to go and check the status, or not the status, but check to see how much will be airdropped to them. We talked about, the public facing website, stuff like that. And then the NFTs, right? Like that's going to be the biggest thing. And you'll start really seeing us talk about in the next couple of weeks, is really around the NFT project. And getting that launched, because a lot of people have been asking about that, and we know people aren't super patient, but we want to make sure we take our time and get it pushed out there, right? So when the time is right, you always see us post things, and you rarely see us miss a deadline, because we're not gonna promise something that we can't deliver to the community.
Geryon, it has been a really great pleasure talking to you once again. And I'm really happy Uplink and I could accompany you on your journey. And thanks for being here today.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having us, and talk to you later.
Bye-bye.